Grab a snuggly blanket. Get a snuggly pillow. Find a cozy place. Let your eyes get heavy. Let's keep going with The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. Chapter 5. The City of Emeralds. When the lion woke up and saw that he was alone, he was very frightened. I must find Dorothy and the others, he thought, and he ran as fast as he could until he came to the yellow brick road again. Then he saw them in the distance. He ran up to them and said, Oh, I'm so glad I found you. I was frightened on my own. You're just in time, Dorothy told him. We are nearly at the City of Emeralds. And a few minutes later, they turned a corner, and there in front of them were the gates to the city. A little man, no taller than a munchkin, came forward to meet them. Unlike the munchkins, however, his clothes were green, not blue. What do you want? He demanded. We want to see the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy told him. The wizard is powerful and terrible, the little man said. If he does not like what you say to him, he will be very angry. He'll destroy you. What we have to say is very important, Dorothy said. We believe the wizard is a good wizard, not a bad one. Oh, he is, and he rules the city wisely and well, but he is very angry if people are dishonest. But come with me. I am the guardian of the gates, and it is my job to take visitors to the wizard. First, though, you must put on spectacles. If you do not, the brightness of the City of Emeralds will blind you. He opened the door of a small room. Dorothy was surprised to see that it was full of spectacles of all shapes and sizes. Only the color of the glass in them was the same, green. Dorothy, her friends, and the guardian of the gates all put on spectacles. Then the guardian took a golden key out of his pocket and opened the gates of the city. They all went inside. There were many people in the city, all dressed in green. They looked at Dorothy and her friends suspiciously, and the children hid behind their mothers' skirts when they saw the lion. The guardian of the gates led the way through the city to the palace of Oz. There was a soldier, all dressed in green, on guard outside the palace doors. These strangers demand to see the great Oz, the guardian said. Enter and wait while I ask the great Oz if he will see you, the soldier said. He opened the palace doors and led the way into a room that had green walls, a green carpet, and even green furniture. Wait here, the soldier said, and went away. After some time he returned. The great Oz will see you one at a time, and only one of you each day, he said. You may stay in the palace while you wait your turn. The soldier blew on a whistle, and a young girl appeared. She had lovely green hair and green eyes. This girl will show each of you to your rooms, he said. Come with me, the girl said to Dorothy. You others wait here. I will come back for you. She led Dorothy through the palace, up and down stairs, along corridors, until they came to a room. It was the prettiest little room in the world, full of flowers, and it even had a fountain in the middle. Near the window, there was a shelf full of little green books. Make yourself at home, the girl said, and pointing to a bell, she added, and just ring that bell if you want anything. The great Oz will see you tomorrow. Dorothy was tired, so she lay down on the green bed and was soon asleep. She slept until the next morning, when there was a knock on the door, and the girl entered. The great Oz will see you now, she said. Come with me. Dorothy followed the girl to the throne room. She expected to see a man dressed in royal robes, but instead there was just a huge head on a chair. As she stared at it, its mouth moved, and Dorothy heard a voice say, I am Oz, the great and terrible. Who are you, And what do you want? Dorothy took courage and said, I am Dorothy, the small and frightened. I have come for your help. Where did you get those silver shoes? The voice demanded. I got them from the Wicked Witch of the East, Dorothy said. My house fell on her and killed her. Where did you get that mark on your forehead? The Great Oz demanded next. The Witch of the North kissed me there, Dorothy said. The Great Oz was silent for a moment. Then he said, What do you want me to do? Please tell me how I can get back to my home in Kansas, Dorothy said. I will tell you if you will do something for me, the Great Oz said. I will if I can, Dorothy told him. What do you want me to do? Kill the Wicked Witch of the West, answered Oz. Oh, I couldn't do that. I don't want to kill anything. You killed the Wicked Witch of the East, Oz told her. That was an accident, Dorothy said. I didn't mean to kill her. You know what you must do, Oz said. No more arguments. Kill the Wicked Witch, or you will never see your home in Kansas again. Chapter 6. The Wicked Witch of the West. Dorothy left the throne room and told her friends about the wizard. He'll help me get back to Kansas, she said. Only if I kill the Wicked Witch of the West. What must we do, the Tin Woodman said, before he will help us? Go and ask him, Dorothy said. I'll wait for you here. One at a time, the Tin Woodman, the Scarecrow, and the Lion asked the Great Wizard to help them. The Tin Woodman wanted a heart, the Scarecrow wanted some brains, and the Lion wanted courage. The Great Wizard said the same thing to each of them. I will help you only if you help Dorothy kill the Wicked Witch of the West. And so it was that Dorothy and her friends, and Toto, of course, set off to find the Wicked Witch of the West. Dorothy spoke to the guardian of the gates. Can you tell me, please, she asked politely, which road leads to the Wicked Witch of the West? There is no road, the guardian said. No one ever wants to go that way. The best you can do is to keep walking to the west, where the sun sets, but be careful. She will try to make slaves of you. Dorothy and her friends walked all day. The sun was hot, and by late afternoon they were all so tired that they lay down in the grass and slept. They were not far from the castle of the Wicked Witch of the West. She had only one eye, but it was as powerful as a telescope. As she sat at the door of her castle, she could see Dorothy and her friends asleep in the grass. She was very angry to find them in her country. She blew on a whistle, and fierce wolves immediately raced toward her. Go to those people asleep in the grass, she ordered them. Tear them to pieces. The wolves raced off to obey her. Luckily, the Tin Woodman was awake and saw them coming. I'll fight the wolves, he said. Get behind me. There were 40 wolves, but one by one the Tin Woodman killed them with his axe. When the Wicked Witch of the West saw her wolves lying dead, she was even angrier than before. This time she blew her whistle twice. A huge flock of crows flew toward her. Fly at once to these strangers, she ordered them, and peck them to pieces. The Scarecrow saw them coming. Leave this to me, he said. I'll deal with these crows. And this is what he did. One by one, he killed the crows until they all lay dead at his feet. When the Wicked Witch of the West saw her crows lying dead, she was even angrier than before. 3 times she blew her whistle. Immediately, a giant swarm of bees flew up to her. Fly at once to those strangers, she ordered them, and sting them to death. The Scarecrow and the Tin Woodman saw the bees coming. Take my straw and cover Dorothy, Toto, and the Lion with it, the Scarecrow said. "The bees can't hurt us. I'm made of straw, and you are made of tin." The bees stung the Scarecrow and the Tin Woodman, but did not hurt them. The bees all died, however, because a bee dies when it uses its sting. Next, the Wicked Witch of the West ordered her slaves, the Winkies, to attack the strangers. They did so, but the lion gave a great roar and frightened them so much that they all ran away. The Wicked Witch of the West had one final weapon. She went to a cupboard in her castle and took out a golden cap. It was covered with jewels. Whoever owned it could make the winged monkeys obey them, but no one could call them more than 3 times. The Wicked Witch of the West had only one call left. She decided to use her last call to destroy Dorothy and her friends. She stood on her left foot and said slowly, "Epe, pepe, kake." Then she stood on her right foot and said slowly, "Hillo, holo, hello." Then she stood on both feet and shouted, "Zizzy, Zuzi, Zik!" The sky darkened, and suddenly the Wicked Witch of the West was surrounded by flying monkeys. The biggest of them, who was king of the monkeys, said, "You called us. This was your last call. What do you want us to do?" "Kill all the strangers except the lion. Bring him to me. I will use him instead of a horse to pull my coach." The monkeys flew toward Dorothy and her friends. Some of them picked up the Tin Woodman and then dropped him onto rocks. He was so bent that he could not move. Some pulled all the straw out of the Scarecrow's head and body until his clothes were completely empty. The others tied up the lion with rope and carried him away. Dorothy was frightened. "I'll be next," she thought, but the monkeys did not hurt her. "She has the kiss of the good witch on her forehead," the king of the monkeys told the others. "Carry her gently to the Wicked Witch of the West castle." When the Wicked Witch of the West saw Dorothy, she was afraid. "Not only does she have the kiss mark on her forehead," she thought, "she is also wearing the magic silver shoes, but she probably doesn't know how powerful they are. I will make her my slave." "Come with me," she said, "and do as I tell you. If you do not, I shall do to you what I did to the Tin Woodman and Scarecrow." She made Dorothy cook and clean, cut wood for the fire, and do all the work in the castle. While Dorothy worked, the Wicked Witch of the West tried to make the lion pull her coach, but he roared at her. So she said, "If you do not do what I say, I shall not give you any food and you will die." The lion said nothing, but he refused to pull the coach. He did not die, though, because Dorothy brought him food every night. Dorothy had to work long hours, and she was very sad. Even Toto was sad because he saw Dorothy crying. As for the Wicked Witch, she planned to take the silver shoes from Dorothy's feet. The problem was that she was afraid of the dark, so she would not go into Dorothy's room at night. She was also afraid of water, so would never go near Dorothy when she was washing. One day, however, she had a plan. She put a piece of metal in the middle of the room. Then, using magic, she made the piece of metal invisible. When Dorothy came into the room, she did not see the piece of metal and fell over it. The Wicked Witch immediately ran up and pulled off one of the shoes. Dorothy was very angry. "Give me back my shoe," she shouted at the Wicked Witch. "Never," the Wicked Witch said, "and now I have half your power." Dorothy was so angry that she picked up a bucket of water that was in the room and threw it over the Wicked Witch. The Wicked Witch screamed, "Do you know what you have done?" she cried. "Now I shall melt. I shall die." And before Dorothy's eyes, the Wicked Witch began to melt, and soon there was nothing left of her except a pool on the floor. Chapter 7. A Return to the Wizard. The Wicked Witch of the West was now dead, and Dorothy was able to tell the Winkies that they were free. The lion, who was with Dorothy, said, "I wish Scarecrow and Tin Woodman were with us." "So do I," Dorothy said. "They are locked up somewhere in the castle. We must find them and rescue them." She asked the Winkies to help her, and they soon found the Tin Woodman. Sadly, he could not move. His body was full of dents. "Are any of you tinsmiths?" Dorothy asked the Winkies. Several of them put up their hands. "Excellent," Dorothy said. "I'm sure you can straighten out the dents in Tin Woodman and get his arms and legs moving again." The Winky tinsmiths set to work banging and polishing. Soon the Tin Woodman was able to stand up and move about again. "Now we must find Scarecrow," Dorothy said. He was not in the castle, so they searched outside. At last they found him. He was caught in the branches of a tree. "Don't worry," the Tin Woodman said. "I'll chop the tree down with my axe." And this is what he did. The tree fell with a crash, and the Scarecrow's clothes fell out of the branches. Dorothy took them back to the castle, where there was plenty of clean straw, and quickly filled the clothes with it. The Scarecrow was whole again. "Now that we are all together again," Dorothy said, "we must go back to the Wizard of Oz and make him keep his promise."
"Oh, good!" exclaimed the Tin Woodman. "I shall get a heart."
"And I shall get some brains," said the Scarecrow.
"And I shall get some courage," said the lion.
"And I will know the way home to Kansas," said Dorothy.
"Before you set off for the City of Emeralds and the Palace of the Great Oz," the leader of the Winkies said, "we want to give you some presents."
They gave Dorothy and her friends all kinds of beautiful things. Dorothy got a golden cap. She put it on, and it fitted her perfectly. Then they left the castle. Soon, however, they were completely lost. "I don't know which way to go," Dorothy said, "and it is getting very late. Let's rest for a little while." She took off the golden cap. As she did so, she saw some writing inside of it. "I wonder what this is," she said, and she read it aloud, standing on her left foot as she did so. "Epi pipe kaki." Then she stood on her right foot and read slowly, "Hilo, holo, hello." Then she stood on both feet and shouted, "Zizzy, Zuzi, Zick!" Immediately the winged monkeys arrived.
"What can we do for you?" the King of the Monkeys asked.
"Show us the way to the City of Emeralds," Dorothy said. "We have to talk to the Great Oz."
"We can do better than that," the King of the Monkeys said. "We can take you there."
The winged monkeys picked up Dorothy and her friends and carried them to the gates of the City of Emeralds. The guardian of the gates met them as before.
"Back again!" he exclaimed in surprise. "Didn't the Wicked Witch of the West kill you?"
"Does it look like it?" Dorothy said. "If you must know, I threw a bucket of water on her and she melted."
"Then I will take you to see the Great Oz. Come this way," he said.
He took them to the room full of spectacles as before, and they all had to put on a pair. Then he sent a message to the Great Oz that Dorothy and her friends wished to see him. They thought that he would see them immediately, but he did not. He kept them waiting and waiting and waiting. At last, the Scarecrow said to the guardian of the gates, "This is not good enough. Dorothy kept her promise to the Great Oz. She killed the Wicked Witch of the West. Now he must keep his promise to us. Tell him that if he does not, we shall ask the winged monkeys to do something about it." The guardian of the gates gave the Great Oz this message. He was so frightened that he sent for Dorothy and her friends without any more delay. To their surprise, they did not see a huge head on the chair. Instead, they saw a very small, ordinary man. "Who are you?" Dorothy demanded.
We want to see the wizard.
The small man coughed and said, Yes, well, you see, the thing is, that is to say,
Well,
I'm the wizard.
you?
Exclaimed Dorothy.
It's a long story,
The little man said.
Sit down and I'll tell it to you.
Dorothy and her friend sat down, and the little man began his story. I come from Omaha, he said. That's not far from Kansas, as you know, Dorothy. I can't do magic, but I can make all kinds of animal and bird noises and make them sound as if they are coming from another place.
You're a ventriloquist,
Dorothy said.
Exactly. So I was able to make monsters and pretend that they were alive and could speak. This way everyone here thinks I am a powerful wizard who can take on the shape of any animal or monster. How did you get here?
Dorothy asked him.
I fell out of a balloon,
Oz said.
Everyone here thought I was a wizard and obeyed me. My only problem was the wicked witches. I knew they would see that I was a fake. And that is why you asked me to kill the Wicked Witch of the West,
Dorothy said.
Yes. And that means that you don't have magic powers.
I'm afraid so, Oz said. That means you can't give me a heart, the Tin Woodman said.
Or me some brains,
the Scarecrow said.
Or me some courage,
the Lion said.
And I suppose you don't know the way home to Kansas, or even Omaha,
Dorothy said.
I think you are a very bad man.
Chapter 8. Take Me Home. Oz looked very sad when Dorothy said he was a bad man.
I'm a bad wizard, he said, but I'm not really a bad man.
But I must have some brains, the Scarecrow said.
You already have brains,
Oz said.
You are learning new things every day. A baby has brains, but it doesn't know much. Experience is what you need, and then your brains will work very well.
That may be true, the Scarecrow said,
but my head feels empty. Then come to me tomorrow morning, and I'll put some brains into your head,
Oz said.
But you must learn how to use them. I can't teach you that.
What about my courage?
The Lion demanded.
If you are going to give Scarecrow brains, you should give me courage.
I am sure you already have plenty of courage. What you don't have is confidence. Everyone is frightened of danger. You are no different from anyone else that way.
Then you must give me the kind of courage that helps me to forget that I am always so afraid,
the Lion said.
Very well. Come and see me tomorrow morning, and I'll give you that kind of courage,
Oz said. Now it was the Tin Woodman's turn to complain. What about my heart? He asked. When do I get one?
I suppose I ought to give you one, Oz said, but I don't think it will make you any happier. And now, Dorothy said, it's my turn. How do I get home to Kansas? I'll have to think about that, probably for several days, Oz said. While I'm thinking, please be my guests in the castle, and please, please don't tell anyone that you know I am not a real wizard.
The next morning, Oz filled the Scarecrow's head with bran and asked him if he could feel his brains.
Oh, yes, the Scarecrow said.
I feel quite clever now.
Then Oz cut a hole in the Tin Woodman's chest and put a heart made of silk inside. The Tin Woodman said, Oh, thank you. I can feel my heart inside me. Then Oz gave the Lion something to drink.
When this is inside you, he said, you will feel full of courage.
The Lion drank and immediately felt less afraid of everything and everyone. When Dorothy came to him to find out how to get home to Kansas, Oz said,
I'm sorry, Dorothy, but I don't know the way. I need help myself to get home to Omaha. But you helped my friends, Dorothy said. Yes, but it was easy to give them what they thought they wanted, Oz explained. They believed I could do it. But you know, I'm not a real wizard. What am I going to do? Dorothy asked tearfully. I'll make a balloon of silk. I have plenty of that. We'll fill it with hot air and float away from the castle. Perhaps then we'll find our way home. A few days later, the balloon was ready. It had a large basket hanging down from it. A fire was burning in the basket, and it made the air in the balloon hot. Hot air rises, and the balloon tried to rise, but a rope stopped it from floating away. Oz got into the basket. Hurry, Dorothy, he said. Get in quickly. The rope is not very strong. Dorothy began to get into the basket, but then she remembered Toto. I must get Toto, she said, and climbed out of the basket. As she did so, the rope broke. The balloon rose into the air and was soon high in the sky and out of sight. Oh, what am I going to do now? Let's ask the guardian of the gates, the scarecrow said. He seemed to be a helpful kind of man, and he may have some ideas. When Dorothy explained her problem to the guardian of the gates, he said, There is only one person who can help you, and that is the Witch of the South. Is she a good witch? Dorothy wanted to know. The Quadlings think so, the guardian said, and I believe she is very beautiful and knows how to stay young forever. You must take the roads to the south to find her. Without wasting any time, Dorothy, Toto, the Scarecrow, the Tin Woodman, and the Lion set off to find the Witch of the South. The journey was long and hard, but at last they reached the palace of the Witch of the South. Her name was Glinda, and she was beautiful and looked very young. I will help you to get home, Dorothy, she said, but I need your golden cap. Of course you can have it, Dorothy said, but remember, you can only use it 3 times. I only need it 3 times, Glinda said. The first time I shall ask the winged monkeys to take Scarecrow back to the City of Emeralds. He will be a wonderful ruler of the city. The second time I shall ask the winged monkeys to take Tin Woodman to the lands of the Winkies. He loves them, and they love him. He will be a good ruler of the Winkies. The third time I shall ask the winged monkeys to take Lion to the jungle, where he will be king of all the beasts. And how will I get home to Kansas? Dorothy asked. All you need to do, Glinda said, is click the heels of your silver shoes and say, Take me home. Dorothy did not want to spend any more time away from home, so she thanked Glinda and said goodbye to her friends. Then, holding Toto in her arms, she clicked her heels 3 times and said, Take me home. The next moment, she was sitting on the ground outside her home. It was a new house, and her uncle was just finished building it. Her Aunt Em was running out of the house to meet her. I am so happy to see you, darling, she said. What happened to you? Oh, Dorothy said, nothing much. I just visited the land of Oz. The end. You have a wonderful heart, full of kindness and love, and you make the people around you very happy. Get the best sleep, have the best dreams, and go out tomorrow and be your best you.